Hello, Internet, and welcome back to our ToME series. We are in the process of escorting, I want to say an alchemist. Took a break between episodes, as I often do. Yes, we're escorting an alchemist in the undead tower. Oh, boy. So which direction are... Well, there's a mold there. Let's take care of some of these enemies before we really proceed. Undead are by far my favorite fantasy creatures. Okay, let's just keep moving. Please don't die. Why don't you take shelter while I deal with them, I guess. I didn't want to just go out and fight them, but... Skeleton assassin to the east. Yeah, you're not looking so good here, partner. You're taking quite a lot of damage. Let's get close to the enemy, so hopefully they will hit me instead of our companion. Although I'm not sure how the AI works with prioritizing enemies. So we're going to just continue tagging along. I wish you had the ability to heal yourself. Let me go first. We are taking a lot of damage. Let's pop our regen. Kill this thing. Cleave this thing. Yeah, love undead. When I was a kid. There you go. Get in the portal. Lone Alchemist completed. Thank you, my friend. I would not have survived without you. Dex +1, Magic +2, Staff Mastery, which I assume would allow us to use staves. No, it just gives us a skill tree, a skill, which I'm assuming is a general skill, which would allow us to deal more damage with staves. But we're not going to be using them, so it's pointless. Channel Staff, Mana, no. Stone Touch, turn your foe to stone for 3 turns. Unable to act or regen life, very brittle. Hit by an attack that deals more than 30% of its life, it will shatter. Stone creatures highly resistant to fire and lightning. Level may fail. It's a spell. 15 round cooldown to basically buy us 3 turns. Assuming we would even get it off, because honestly, things are going to have much better resistance than we're going to have magic skill. So I don't think that that's super valuable. Stone Alchemy seems like it'd be really cool, but I don't think that that's for this character. Staff Combat, again, we're not going to be using staves. So do we want Magic +2 or Dex +1? Now, obviously, we're going to get more value out of Dex as a melee class, but this is an opportunity for us to get magic points without actually having to spend points to do it, which will help our resistances a little bit. And again, it's just 2 points versus 1 point. So is it 1 point that we're actually going to get value out of, or 2 points in something that gives us kind of a passive value but not very much of it? I think I'll just take the magic because it's free points. Who cares? We're putting some points in Dex now and then anyway. We're just going to take the magic. I don't want to overthink all my decisions because then I'll never progress anywhere. Let's take a break and regen a little bit. We have been getting hit a little frequently here. Yeah, undead. I mean, when I was a kid, what are you? Midge Swarm. Yeah, you're nothing to me, midges. As a kid, it was like, undead were the coolest thing. Like, when I was a kid, I don't know if you remember, or if you're old enough, or how old my audience is. Okay, a lot of you, including a big old army ant. Let's shout them. Ooh, murdered. Tales from the Crypt was a thing. It was like this show... kind of like Twilight Zone-y, where they, I forget the word for that, but it's a show where each episode was its own self-contained story, and they were just generic horror stories. Oftentimes, they were very scary to a kid my age. I was probably 6 or 7 when that was really popular. Maybe a little older than that. I don't really remember when that was popular. They made a movie or two, and it started with The Crypt Keeper, which was basically like a skeletonized human, like a desiccated body, like a zombie kind of. Oh, so much to read. Oh my god, there's so much of it. Okay, looks like it's basic background lore on the various undead creatures. Basically, ghouls, I mean, we know what these things are, right? Is there anything we're not familiar with? Whites, if you don't know, are usually desiccated, skeletonized kind of undead, kind of like what I was just describing with the Crypt Keeper. They're usually raised from, it's usually I don't know, I think of them as melee, but in this game they've been using magic. Vampires, everyone knows vampires. Spirits. Bone giants, we did encounter a bone giant One of the most horrific, vomit-inducing expressions of the necromancer's so-called art is the bone giant. Not content with merely profaning the bodies of singular souls, some ambitious necromancers work to bind the bodies of countless skeletons together, creating hideous engines of destruction that can stand many times higher than the height of a normal man. Yeah, very cool. And then liches are by far my favorite thing, undead-wise. They are my favorite fantasy creature. So, yeah, I'm not going to read all of that. Of course, you can pause the video if you were interested in reading that. Hopefully, I scrolled slow enough that you would be able to read everything. Yeah, and like the Crypt Keeper, I gotta stop moving so often. Let's shout to try and break his shield, and then we'll cleave and kill them both, and we'll cleave these guys as well. Not sure why they're popping out of nowhere at me. I don't know if they're all cloaked or if I'm hitting traps. Am I hitting traps? Rage Awakens. It doesn't say anything about triggering a trap, but they are appearing out of nowhere. And in fact, I think they appeared at each part of these columns is where they appeared. So I'm guessing there were in fact traps around that I was missing. Let's use our instant heal. Shattering blow, bump. Oh my goodness, there are so many of you. Let's shout at this group up here. See if we can kill the vampire. I think he's the scariest thing. And then we will cleave the remnants here. We had deep wounds, but we cured them. I don't know. I don't like this room. It seems like they're popping out at me. Oh, good. It brought me right back to the room when I auto-explored. Let's wait for this to stop ticking. Oh, lore found. Seeds of the Black Tree. The writhing mass of tentacles appears to have infested a Mind Star, creating some bizarre fusion between natural and unnatural. Once clear gem now seems more like a shard of black obsidian, and the tentacles strike out with like whips. You do not want to think of the implications of this horror being used to fuse with nature itself. Is it a gem or is it a Mind Star? Seeds of the Black Tree. It is a Mind Star, so that's nothing to us, unfortunately. Yeah, so maybe in this other wall there's some item? No. Okay. Just go back to auto-exploring, I guess. Yeah, the Crypt Keeper freaked me out when I was a kid, and that was like my first exposure to undead. I remember there was an episode with a mummy that was killing people, and it was like, I think Steve Buscemi was in that episode. And like, when I was a kid, mummies scared me to death. I saw multiple movies about mummies, and why is everything so long? Felled a bone giant. I don't want to read this. More conflict with the necromancer. I assume it's the same low quality writing that I found in the previous episode when we were reading about the necromancer. I'm sorry, if you want to read this, here you go. I'm just going to slowly tick down so you can read this if you want to, but this is not something I'm going to be reading. It's just too much, and the last time we found one about the necromancer conflict, it was really hard to read. So, there you go. Yeah, mummies freaked me out, and then, like, of course, Army of Darkness was a thing, and that had skeletons and zombie-type things in it. Just gonna kill this magus here. I'm gonna rest and then go back to auto-exploring. Skeletons are very cool. When I was a little, kid on the internet, really for the first time, I started, I had friends who would, like, write little D&D type stuff, and skeletons were prominently featured. And then, of course, skeletons are a staple of undead stuff. Like I said, Army of Darkness. Warlord's Battlecry had skeletons. Oblivion had skeletons. Friggin' Morrowind had skeletons. EverQuest had skeletons. Like, just my favorite things in the world. Lore Master Greynot's analysis of the races on orcs, which are apparently extinct, which... Have we not fought orcs? I'm like 100% sure we've come across orcs. The orcs are joyfully extinct from Maj'Eyal following the purge. Have we really not seen orcs? Maybe they weren't orcs. Maybe they were just goblins, but I could swear we have fought orcs. Generally around 6'1" with green or black skin, thick-built, heavily muscled, violent. Orcish ruins revealed a surprising amount of cultural material, including crude artwork. No substantiated reports of orcs for over 100 years. Sightings there are tend to be from such unreliable sources as adventurers and hermits. never been verified. Be thankful that these horrible creatures have been banished to the annals of history, surviving only as stories to be told to misbehaving children. So I guess they just don't take adventurers' words for things. There's a spirit. Yeah, EverQuest definitely shaped my love of undead, because in that game, like when I was a kid, I would play as a necromancer. It was the, oh lord, y'all be everywhere, including multiple named enemies. Here we have Emelubrin, Bruin the Ghoul, and this little guy, Borfast the Broken. So I'm assuming that the lore that we have been reading is about this guy fighting the necromancer. In fact, tufts of hair sticking out from its chin give evidence of a once magnificent dwarven beard. Half its face seemed to have been seared in acid at some point. Flesh melted away from the skull, and an eyeball drooping from low from its socket. There's a unique sadness to its eyes and a slump of resignation to its gait. What proud hero of renown was this before he was condemned to such a terrible fate? So presumably he lost his battle. What we want to do, most of these are melee, but some of them are casters. We're going to back up and see what comes to fight us. Hopefully these will migrate this way and give us a better angle, because I really don't want to approach all of them and have these few casters be spitting out at us the whole time. So we're going to, I think, we're going to shout to hit hopefully all three of these. And then we're going to charge away, which should allow us to evade that arrow, I would think. Although I'm not 100% on how projectiles work. Come back here. We're going to try to regen while we wait for them to approach. And cleave. Great. And let's see what else comes this way. Something is casting at us, but we cannot see it. Okay, so you can teleport, Mr. Ghoul. Has some effects going on, but I think it looks pretty killable. Yeah, cleaving is going to work for us more than it's going to work for him. And it does look like that horde has followed us. So what we're going to do, we're going to pop our regen. We're going to shout to hit as many as possible. Great. Oh, and outright killed many of them, which I did not expect. Going to back up further and let ourselves regen. Close ranks with the vampire. Kill the vampire, hopefully. And then we will turn our attention to... I'd really rather not leave this hitting us while I'm trying to engage him. So I think we will focus the skeleton first. He has a shield wall, daunting presence. So it looks like he may have been a shield bearer class, because I think shield wall is a talent for shield bearers. We're going to shout him to try and break his shield. Okay, he hit us for 99 damage, which is significant. We're going to pop Resilience of the Dwarves. Our regen is still on cooldown. We're going to Stunning Blow, taking quite a lot of damage. Our cooldown on regen is still going. We're going to pop our instant heal. And we're going to swap to bump attacks. He's really not taking a lot of damage. Hitting him... Oh, no, that's me. You hit me for 14 damage. How much did I hit him for? 184. So we are dealing significant damage to him. It's just he probably has a lot of health. 1300 health. And he has the shield wall talent, which is going to let him tank a lot of damage. We're going to continue bumping him. We're going to wait on our regen. Now we will pop our regen. Do not know what the green aura is. We are intimidated. Why don't we try this thing to see if that helps? It did help. Let's wait for our shout. Let's bump attack. He's regenning health. Broadfast hits me for 2 healing. Why is he hitting me for healing? Trilman heals from fire damage. Why am I healing from damage? I don't understand. Do we have a trait that lets us heal from damage? I don't think we do. I don't know. We're going to shout. Maybe we should hold off on the shout until he brings his shield back up. We're just going to shout him. It doesn't matter. Shout. Stunning blow. We're running very low on regen items, and he is dealing a fair bit of damage to us. We want to move him out of this aura, or he's going to continually heal. No, the aura follows him. We might die here, which I did not expect when I came into this dungeon. He is level 24. We could run away to disengage, but if we engage him again, he's going to be fully healed because he has healing talents. Let's try to confuse him. I don't know how to turn off the aura. And it seems like it follows him. It does not follow him. So we want to pull him out. He's full health now, which is not great. We want to pull him out of that aura anytime we see it, I guess. Let's shout at him. We're taking so much damage. He is... Man, we're taking so much damage. Pop our regen. Low health. He's damaging me for about the same amount of damage we do in regen. Let's just try to kill him. This is a close fight. 30% health. Let's back off and see if we can buy a few turns to get our regens back. Hostile spotted to the east. We're going to try to heal. Hopefully he's not healing as much. Pop our heal again. I'm in a better position to fight him now. Oh, we killed him. I'm a little surprised. I think backing off was the right call. We were fighting him in that aura that was healing him. I did not notice. I wasn't paying attention. That's really the first time we've met a named enemy that was healing itself like that. We also got very low on stamina, which could have been could have killed us if we were not more careful. I really need to... I mean, I want to say I need to pay more attention, but really it's just I need to know the game better to know what the effects are, what those auras mean, that kind of thing. A letter to Borfast from the Master. My dear Borfast, welcome to your glorious undeath. Your armor a cage, your hopes despair, your axe enslaved to my will, your soul mine to feast upon. How does it feel? Rather lovely, I like to imagine. You are a valiant opponent, and though you were little threat to me, I do like to honor you with special treatment. And you do like honor, don't you? I know you wish to honor your people by destroying me and destroying my tower, but I'm sure you realize now that it was a rather vain endeavor. I apologize for what happened to that lovely suit of plate. I know it got a little worn during the treatment, but I'm afraid I really did need to find out the locations of your companions, and certain pressures had to be applied. You weren't very talkative, now were you? But I soon made you sing, oh yes. Of course, I could have just used a little divination magic to find what I wanted, but I do so enjoy a good torture. And my, how joyous your screams were whenever your acid splashed against your beard. Ha! We did chortle, did we not? But no matter, I've had my skeletal smiths working to fix your armor, fit to be worn by my new champion. Hope you enjoy your new work, approach it with gusto, that sort of thing. I know in life you always dreamed of being a mighty hero of legend, but, well, what can be more glorious than this? You will live forever as my servant, destined to defend my throne for all time. You will be the envy of all the lesser ghouls that shamble about my halls. Well, until you get slain by some dumb intruding adventurer, of course. But that's the beauty of you heroes. One comes in, makes a mess, and then I get a new plaything to toy with. I wonder who shall replace you, eh? Until then, do enjoy the work, try to keep the place clean, and remember, I own you forever. The Master. Okay. Huh. I mean, that was pretty well written. I didn't really have an issue with that one. And he's in a little treasure closet over here, just full of goodies. Little just fractional pieces of gold, unfortunately. Not very impressive. However, that enemy alerts me to how dangerous this place was. I thought we were an appropriate level, because I believe it said level 15 was the suggested level. And, of course, that guy very nearly killed us, which is, you know, the opposite of safety. Oh, I don't want to read more of this. Shurtol are extinct. This is another race. I mean, we don't know about the Shurtol. We might as well read it, I guess. Many texts. I'll read this separately, and then I'll just summarize it for you. So basically, the Shurtol lived a very long time ago, over 10,000 years ago, during what was referred to as the Age of Haze. Basically, they don't know what they look like or anything like that. They just have found ruins of their structures all across the land. If you remember, I believe the sunken, whatever we found in that lake that was like the sunken ruins, I believe those were Shurtol ruins. And it says they don't know what they look like because there's no art or anything, but they figure they look like us because they have stairs and doorways like normal people do. And then there's talk of them, no one knowing why they went extinct or anything like that. But it says that they may exist elsewhere but are just hiding, which seems like exactly what you would put in a fantasy game. So presumably we'll meet them eventually if we survive long enough with our character. So, interesting. Not really a lot of information there, I guess, because it is an extinct race. We're just going to continue exploring. What was I talking about? I have no idea what I was talking about. Oh, EverQuest. I was talking about EverQuest. Love EverQuest. Started playing EverQuest when I was like 11, when it first came out. What are you? Your light elementals? Luminous horrors. Lanky humanoid composed of yellow light. You seem pretty tough. What level are you? 22. Why is everything level 20 something? It said like level 15 when we came in here. I like my little glowing portrait up there. Well, let's back up so we're only fighting one at a time. Because screw those guys. Why am I regenning so much? 35 healing? Finished recovering. What was I don't understand why I'm recovering. Hits luminous horror for healing. Well, they're healing each other with light damage, but why would that affect me in any way? Cleave. I don't know. Let's shout them. We don't use our shout often enough. We'll cleave this one. Bump, bump, bump. And we'll regen. Oh, I'm frozen. Can we use this while frozen? We can. We're no longer frozen. Well, nice try, but sorry. Parida, the skeleton warrior. Did you freeze me or did something else freeze me? Because why would you have the ability to freeze if you're a warrior? Whatever. Cleave. Oh, I failed to move. Why did I not move? Trilman heals from fire damage. Why am I healing from... I don't understand. This is the second time we've encountered this. 50 damage per turn. Blighted soil. Resistance of 60%. Chance to infect. Recovery. Why am I recovering? Why am I healing so much? I don't understand. I don't have any active effects that would heal me. Why are we healing from fire damage? Whatever. Cleave. Why am I not moving? Let's pop our instant heal. Pop our regen. Why can't I move? I can move. Is there something blocking me that's invisible? Wall. I mean, it wouldn't let me move here. I don't know. We're taking a lot of damage, but we've popped all of our heals. If I die because of this, I'm going to be furious. Because it's like, why wasn't I able to move? Okay, let's regen. I don't know why I'm regenning from fire damage. I don't think we've changed equipment at all in the last couple of episodes. So I really don't understand why we're healing from fire damage. But I will take it. Because why wouldn't I? Yeah, EverQuest. I was like 12 when I started playing EverQuest. I remember when I was a kid, I used to get those like Game Informer magazines where they would come with demo discs. There was a game called Meridian 59, I believe is what it was called. It was one of the first MMOs of all time. And I could not get it to work on my computer. It was an online-only game. Let's look at these stairs. Does it say a certain level requirement? It doesn't. So, like, the main dungeon said level 15. So why am I encountering 20 plus, level 20 plus enemies? We're going to hang on to that dagger because that's a pretty dagger. And it is a orange item that is powered by Arcane. So at this point, we have an item of every color powered by Arcane. So we should be able to complete that Arcane quest. Anything else? War Axe is one-handed. Leather boots is not going to interest me. Man, plus 16 physical power though. But the armor will be so low and it can be used to blink. I mean, our boots give us 7 armor, and that's it. And plus 1 infravision. Yeah, we'll wear these. It is a loss of armor, but it gives us accuracy, physical power, which is pretty great. Maximum life as well as some resistances, and it increases our stats, which will also boost our resistances a little bit, or our saves rather. So we'll move those to normal inventory. What else did we want? Gauntlets? Do we have any gauntlets? No. Nothing else. Amulet of Mana Streaming. Plus 2 magic. Increased mana. No, that's not for us. Healing Infusion. What does this scale with? I mean, it's garbage. 26 and Cleanse 1. Yeah, that's not going to work for me. So we'll just continue to the next level. And I couldn't get Meridian 59 to work on my computer. And then I heard about EverQuest coming out. And it was like the same thing. It was like an online game with, lots and lots of players. And you could do magic and you could play different races. And it was 3D, and it seemed so cool to me when I was that age. And I still love EverQuest. I had a private server up and running. Well, we're not going to talk about that, I guess, for liability reasons. But I was involved in the EverQuest community for a long time, even up until very recently. I think 6 months ago, I played EverQuest on an actual EverQuest server, like a proper Daybreak server, pretty recently. I think I'm like a level 30 Necromancer or something. I didn't put that much time into it this time. But I thought, I'll play it and I'll get up to level 150 or whatever they're up to these days. And then I just didn't follow through because, I started playing World of Warcraft instead, which is much more pretty and less grindy. And there's a lot more cosmetic stuff and a lot more mounts and collectibles and stuff like that really appeals to me. So I ended up playing, WoW. And WoW doesn't have Necromancer class, unfortunately. They do have Death Knights, and I played Death Knights when I first started playing WoW, when I got really into it in Lich King, but they've changed them a lot since then, and I don't enjoy playing them anymore. A note from the Master. Minions! To my newest vampire, burn, foolish adventurer, burn. I bet you are sorry for that flame spell now, aren't you? Suffer as I revisit it upon you. To the rest of you, there will be punishment. An adventurer got down to my bedroom and surprised me. I, myself, was hurt, and almost had to use my special power. All is well now, and I am as dangerous as ever, but you shall suffer for letting him get so low. The next minion I see shall be toasted with my marshmallows. Where then were the special pits of doom I organized? Where were the poisons of my wights, or the diseases of my ghouls? Indeed, I should slaughter all of you, and I would, but those who were most foully remiss were already slaughtered by the adventurer. The rest of you, beware my wrath. Tread lightly. What does Walt say? If you don't know who I am. We'll regen, and we'll charge, I think. And we'll cleave, and why not pop resilience since we're seeing a lot of things, and we'll cleave again to kill it. Stunning blow. That's the wrong button. Stunning blow. Yeah, EverQuest was great. World of Warcraft doesn't have Necromancers. They have Death Knights, but they don't really get summoning spells, and they've changed them a lot, so they're not as fun as when I first really was playing World of Warcraft. I play a Demon Hunter now, which I know is everybody makes fun of as the most the casual type class. They have everything, basically. It's like they made easy mode for World of Warcraft, but I really do enjoy the mobility of it. But we're not going to talk about that. You probably don't care about World of Warcraft. More light, guys. I really didn't like you because you were healing each other. When we back up and let them come to us, and then we will shout. Oh, you spread out. I didn't expect you to spread out. We will shout. We can still hit all three of them. Took kind of a lot of damage. Why am I not absorbing fire damage anymore? Is it this thing? Does this let us absorb? Increases affinity for all damage. I mean, what would we have done that would possibly be absorbing fire damage and things? I don't know. Let's back up to limit the number that we are exposed to. Oh, man, you guys really like to hit me. Just gonna kill you. I'm gonna back off and heal. You know what? We should probably call the episode, actually. So I think we're gonna call the episode there. I know it's a weird cut, but yeah, I don't know how many more floors there are to this dungeon, and I'm honestly getting a little nervous by the amount of resistance that we're encountering. The smart play would probably be to go back to the world map and continue leveling up before coming back down here to face the master. But it said level 15, so maybe we'll be okay. I really, really don't know. I feel like the level suggestions are maybe not as accurate as they should be. But we'll see, I guess. I don't have a ton of evidence for that. But for now, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I, of course, will be back with more ToME content as often as I can. Hopefully 7 days a week, but more likely 4 or 5 days a week. And I'll see you in the next episode.